ultimately embraced it, and then 4 years later adopted a cost of living increase to that living wage. So that's an example of something that we were able to do despite the fact that the mayor was able to get most things through the city council. But in the last year, we have really seen a growing activism as represented by the battle for a living wage. And I anticipate that while the mayor will still is still very popular in the city, obviously as a result of the city council or the recent mayoral elections. There will be a city council that will be a little bit more questioning and challenging.
So we're going to have more of a system of checks and balances.
Well, a true debate. And that's really, I think, all we really are asking for is to have a debate, a semblance of democracy in the city council, because no person, no matter how good they are, has a corner on all knowledge and all wisdom and is always right on everything. And I think the mayor himself will be the first to admit that debate is good, that the free exchange of ideas is good, and that as a result you end up with better policy rather than just one person dictating what that policy should be. So I look forward to some more vigorous debate in the city council.
I think the labor
movement
wants to be more of a player in that now, too.
Absolutely.
We're going to be listening and watching and maybe even helping to sponsor certain movement in some directions. Hello, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi. I'm wondering what programs Alderman Moore has started in the 49th Ward to fight crime.
Okay. Quite a number, actually. I was... when I first ran for alderman in 1991, I was a very strong proponent of community policing, which at the time was just something that the city really wasn't interested in pursuing. But we had hearings. We brought people from across the nation to testify about how community policing was working in other parts of the country. And as a result, we were able to get a community policing pilot project in the 24th District, in the 49th Ward. And it proved to be very successful. And it expanded citywide, and we've had some great success. We've had a lot more community participation, a lot more accountability on the part of the police department, and a lot more accountability on the part of the community. And as a result, we have witnessed a very significant decrease in crime. Having said that, there's still a lot more work to be done. We have continued to battle bad landlords, making sure that bad landlords get out of our neighborhood. In fact, we put a few in jail. We have also have implemented the blue lights in certain strategic sections of the community to provide another tool for the police. In fact, my opponent opposes those lights, and while I don't see them as a panacea, they have proven to be an effective tool at helping to stabilize and make safer some of our commercial streets. So we're going to continue to use those tools and continue to encourage community policing so that we can continue that very good trend that we've had over the last 15 years in terms of reduction in serious crime.
Hey, you're on the air with Joe Moore, Alderman.
Hi there. Yeah, I'm just a little new to the area. I'm familiar with the alderman's work, but I'm wondering, what do we have to look forward to in the neighborhood, and, how can I play a part in that?
Well, first of all, welcome to the 49th Ward. It's really a very exciting, dynamic community, one of the most diverse communities in the entire city. Right now, we're focused on two things. One of the things we're focused on is making sure that the 49th Ward continues to be home to people of all backgrounds. So we want to make sure that affordable housing is a very key component of the 49th Ward. Good, well-managed, affordable housing that provides our seniors and families with the opportunity to continue to live in our community as the community continues to rejuvenate, and we continue to attract more businesses and more development in our community. We're really working on balanced development, and if the caller wants to get more involved, I certainly encourage them to get involved with my zoning advisory committee that advises me on all zoning and land use issues, and I encourage them to become involved in my Parks and Beaches advisory committee if they're interested in our parks and beaches to help us make the Park District more accountable and improve our parks and beaches. There's a lot of volunteer organizations that work closely with my office, and I encourage them to get involved. They can call my office.
There you go.
that's the campaign office number, but that's good
They'll
enough.
get you there,
They'll
right?
get me there, or the website there.
Ward49.com. And by the way, did you know that our union, Local 73, represents all the workers in the Park District?
Absolutely.
So if you have any problems, let's work on them together. What do you think of that? We're
I
going
think
to send somebody that committee meeting.
That's a novel concept, isn't it? Rather than privatizing, maybe actually try to work together with labor to
seriously.
and improving our
come
parks.
And see how that committee works out. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, I was glad to hear you talking about balancing the community, because I really enjoy the fact that there's a great mix of people, and I'm wondering how you can use zoning and other tools to the aldermen to keep both the single-family homes that are in our neighborhood as well as affordable housing.
Yeah, it's a challenge to drive that balance, but I think we've done it pretty well in the 49th Ward. We continue to have a very economically diverse community. We have just completed a full analysis and process for examining the zoning in my community. And we have downzoned large portions of our community.
What's
in other
that
words, what that means is that we've changed the zoning so that only less dense developments are encouraged.
I see. Okay.
We had a situation where we had a real threat to the residential character of our neighborhood. A lot of single-family homes were torn down for these condos, and we said, you know what?
I call them minimum security prisons.
We've got to preserve our single-family homes. We've got to preserve our residential character. We can't get the neighborhood too densely populated, and so we did, working with the community, we downzoned a large part of the community. What that's done is it started to steer the development onto our commercial streets and arterial streets, which are in need of development, and we're beginning to see new businesses coming in and new restaurants that will serve the needs of my community and make the 49th Ward an even better place to live.
Got another call? Hey, hello, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, I'm actually a member of Local 73 with the Chicago Park District.
You're kidding? Well, I guess you're not.
And I was just listening to your conversation with the Alderman about how he's working together with the Park District. I just wanted to know any pieces of legislation that the Alderman might support, not only in the 49th Ward, but in the City Council for making the parks better and stuff like that.
Well, I think the first thing is we just have to make the Park District accountable. We've worked with the Park District to bring a new community center of Park District Fieldhouse that is currently under construction at Howard and Marshfield. That will bring a much needed recreational facilities to the Howard Street area. But we also need to make sure that the Park District does a better job of maintaining Loyola Park, for example. It's a beautiful stretch of park and beach. The only really one of the few parks anywhere in the city of Chicago where you don't have to cross a highway to get to.
Yes.
Just walk out of your home, walk down the street, and you're right there. And the Park District simply has to do a better job of maintaining those beaches and those parks. And my Parks and Beaches Advisory Committee is a wonderful way of using community volunteers to hold the Park District more accountable. We've also worked with the Park District to expand Hartigan Park. We've just acquired a parking lot that was situated at the end of Albion, right by the lake, and we're going to use that to expand to Hartigan Park, creating more park space in a community that really needs more open space and more park
green
space.
Absolutely.
And certainly preservation of our lakefront is a paramount goal, and we will do everything possible, and we will prevent any possible extension of Lakeshore Drive or any proposed marinas. I think my community has made it very clear that that they want to preserve the lakefront and prevent any of that kind of overdevelopment that would harm the character of the lake and harm its beauty.
And for our part, the union struggles to make sure the Park District responds to the needs of the community. We will have a partnership, I think, deeper one. And we also have a little saying at Local 73, cut the grass, not the staff, meaning that every time that there's a downsizing in the number of people serving the parks, it affects the community.
Well, and I think we've seen that in the parks in my community throughout the city, where we've really seen a a decrease in the maintenance because simply the staff's not there.
Right.
This whole idea that you can get by with less and provide the same services, I think is belied by the experience that the residents in my ward and wards throughout the city have experienced, where we have seen park maintenance not being kept up to par.
Exactly. We don't have time? There's no more callers. Let me show this again then. I need to show this again. Joe Moore. That's the campaign, 773-973-4949. Joe, what is the address over there at your office where we go out on Saturday?
Well, the campaign office is located at 1774 West Greenleaf. That's Greenleaf and Ravenswood.
1774. If you show up there at 10
just
o'clock
steps
on
from
Saturday.
the Rogers Park Metro stop. It's a block from the
Clark
number
Street
22
bus. Right.
Clark Street bus.
Right.
It's very easy to get to.
If you show up there on Saturday, I'll be there. I'll buy you a donut. And we'll go out.
Actually, the donuts are free. So
that's what I meant. Come on, hey.
Free meaning if you go to work. Right.
Yes, then we'll go out.
We'll need you to knock on doors, and we'll feed you some real healthy donuts.
About getting this guy back into the city council. So again, 773-973-4949 for more information, or www.ward49.com. Thank you very much, Alderman.
Well, it's been great to be here.
We'll
Thank
see you
you so
City
much
Council.
for having me. Look forward to it. Absolutely.
Good night, everybody.